Hi everybody, this is part 2 of my video on answering subscriber questions, where I will answer the following 5 questions from subscribers. Let's get started. Question number 6. So, you also have model looks. How do you know you're an actual person rather than just a paid actress for one of those same agencies selling some magical dating product via YouTube? I'm very glad you noticed my looks, but I have to admit, judging a person by their looks alone is like judging a book by its cover. It's much more important what I have inside me and what I have to offer. You have currently noted that it's impossible to verify my words at once, but in life we often trust people based on their actions and words. I have been working in the field of relationships for many years and I know all its pitfalls. And believe me, I share this information with you not for any profit, but simply because I see how much scam there is in this topic and realize how much I can influence and help. The secrets that I reveal on my channel you are unlikely to find elsewhere. After all, who benefits from telling you the truth? Only someone who genuinely wants you to be happy and avoid being scammed. Conversely, those who want you scam you won't tell you how it all works. My only goal is to create useful and interesting content that will help you understand difficult situations and help you find a Slavic wife who will have serious intentions for you. I'm building my channel for the long term and I value my reputation very much. It's important to me that every viewer feels and realizes that I speak from the heart. So to find out if I'm another scammer or not, stay tuned to my channel and watch how it all ends. Question number 7. Excuse me, but how dumb are guys who will pay to message with a woman? Men who are willing to pay to socialize with women often fall into a very cleverly arranged trap. This is not surprising because finding a soulmate is one of the most important tasks in life. When a person desperately wants to find love, he is willing to do a lot. And here he can be influenced by a variety of factors. Hope for a miracle, fear of loneliness, or simply ignorance of how to properly build a relationship. It's these feelings that push men to rash actions, such as paying for paid chat rooms. Many men fell into a world of illusory expectations, and even though they suspect something wrong, but they are afraid to accept the truth, afraid to believe that they spent $1,000 on something that was a scam. In one of the books, I read an interesting thought reflecting the whole essence of this trick. Having sacrificed to Jupiter the expensive bull, the poor peasant will firmly believe that Jupiter is not a fairy tale. Otherwise, how can he justify his crazy deed? The peasant will take one bull after another to the temple, so that he will not have to admit to himself that all previous sacrifices were a waste of resources. Neither do the men on these sites. After spending hundreds or thousands of dollars, it becomes more and more difficult to admit their mistakes to themselves and start acting differently. That's why they continue to spend money on paid hookups in the hope of finding a wife, just as the peasant continues to sacrifice his bulls. You can't call men like that stupid. It's the essence of our psychology. Only strong men are able to admit to themselves such mistakes. And the bigger the victim, the more strange of mind it takes to admit to oneself one's mistakes. Imagine a man who believed his government and propaganda went to war, lost his arms and legs. Imagine the sacrifice he made. And even if this man believed Hitler and the government of Nazi Germany, even if 40 years later everyone around him will recognize that they were wrong, it will still be very difficult to him to admit to himself that he was a fool, and because of his stupidity he maimed his life. I mean, the sacrifice he made was enormous. There was a good chance that he would die believing in the superiority of his race. Okay, I'm getting a little philosophical here. Let me know in the comments if you like my thoughts, or if I'm getting carried away and Mary needs to settle down. Question number 8. Do Slavic women mind if their man is a little overweight? I live in America and a lot of us are at least a little overweight. When it comes to women's preferences in the figure of man, everything is very individual. Many Slavic women over 40 years in terms of the norm treat a small tummy. Some can even push their partner to a healthier lifestyle, but without fanaticism. However, young girls, especially those who themselves lead an active lifestyle, can be more demanding of their partner's figure. Of course, an athletic figure always attracts attention. A man with a trim body has a better chance of pleasing a woman. However, you should not forget that figure is only part of the equation. There are other factors to consider: self-confidence, lack of addictions, intelligence, and ability to take care of oneself. According to polls on one of the forums, we can say that every woman has different tastes. Some women write that they don't perceive thin men at all, and for them it's very important that the man was medium or large statura. Other women say that, on the contrary, they are attracted to men with a slim build, explaining that this is a sign of man's intelligence. And there is a special class of Slavic women who are attracted to exceptionally large men. They are often called my teddy bear. These are huge men with rather large shoulders, arms, and often bellies. A kind of mixture between a fool and a pumped-up man. We can clearly say that most women like men of medium stature, not too thin and not too overweight. Therefore, if you are not the usual statura, it just means that you will have to more and longer to find a woman who will taste your appearance. But it doesn't mean that there will not be a woman who will even like your appearance despite the general trends. Well, in more detail about what factors most attract Slavic women, I will reveal in one of my next videos. Question number 9. I have been on this dating site called Ukrainian Bridal Agency. Is this a legitimate dating site? I have spent so much already and have corresponded with many women. Although I have not met anyone in person, I question its legitimacy. I haven't heard specifically about this site, as there are hundreds, if not thousands, of these sites, but theoretically all dating sites, including payment for foreign citizens, have to register officially and are legal. The doubt arises in their goal and motivation. As I said in my videos, I don't recommend using any dating sites where you pay to correspond or meet Slavic women, because since this is very big money business, their main goal is usually to make as much profit as possible. They don't care if you spent a fortune and didn't find the right woman for you. They usually respond with, well, bad luck. You need to look for love next. If I were a man from the US and my goal was to find a Ukrainian or Slavic wife, I wouldn't waste my time and money on these sites. In my next videos, I will talk about the most effective methods of dating Slavic women and how to avoid scam. I have also been developing a workbook for 3 months now, where I collect and structure all the information on how you can find a real Slavic wife, where to meet, what to write, how to communicate, how to make an impression, how to behave on the first dates, how to check her seriousness of intentions, and much more. In it, I collect all my experience and the experience of the best psychologists and experts in the field of relationships between men and women in Ukraine. Already now you have the opportunity to pre-order at the most favorable price. By doing this, you will get a lot of bonuses. The first, materials and access to a closed community where you will receive a lot of useful information and share experiences with men like you. Click the link below this video or scan the QR code to check out all the pre-order details. I will conduct regular surveys and listen to your opinions to make the product as valuable and useful for you as possible. And of course, I offer 100% money-back guarantee if you realize it's suddenly not for you. Every man is looking for his ideal woman. My goal is to help you find an attractive Slavic woman who, by her character and interest, will suit you as much as possible. I really want you to start interactive with real and conscientious women, not scammers, and save as much more your life energy, time and money as possible. So if you are interested and want to know the terms of pre-order, follow the link below this video. But for now, let's continue. Question 10. What part of the US would you visit, assuming you haven't already? You might say that I've been completely brainwashed, and you'd probably be right. One of my biggest dreams is to visit New York City, because I've been watching a movie Home Alone since I was a kid, and seeing that snowy, magical city during the Christmas season absolutely made me fall in love with the picture. It's kind of a childhood dream to visit the places Kevin has been, including riding in a limo with cheesy pizza and especially walking in Central Park. I'm also really drawn to Broadway and Times Square. I guess it has to do with the fact that my favorite time of year is winter. It has to be snowy and frosty. That's it. Write in the comments whether you like this format, so that I know whether I should make similar videos from time to time. And of course, ask your questions that you want me to answer in my next videos.